The people that left didn't really commit to themselves to win, and that's why they left. My guest today became the first international world champion this country produced. Then he stopped fighting and started coaching. That's the story most people know. The one I asked him to tell me is what nobody has asked. And this is my coach, our coach, and this is Coach Wan. This is the Operator's Desk, episode 3. Coach, I think the first question, the transition, right? I think everybody knows you are the fighter that brought the highest sort of athlete for Singapore. And that must mean a lot at that age and committing your life in that point. But there was a transition where you stopped fighting. When you retired from fighting and you needed to find a new purpose, coaching gave you that. But what is the version that actually died for you? Transited you from fighter to coach?
Okay, I mean, I wish I have a more interesting answer, but while I was fighting, really, I was really coaching. So, I mean, before I had Legends, I was already coaching part time. Actually, to be honest, I started off as a Muay Thai coach. Yeah. So, I did Muay Thai coaching for kids actually. Yeah, so it was a previous workplace called, it's no longer around, Vanda Boxing Club. So, they also had Muay Thai for kids. So, I started coaching Muay Thai for kids first before I started boxing coaching. Then from there I got my experience, I did personal training, group classes, and then in 2014 I decided to start Legends. And during this time I was already like fighting and coaching. So when the time to stop fighting, the time to stop fighting came, it wasn't like a very difficult transition, but I remember years ago I said like if I were to retire from fighting, it would be based on my own terms. But unfortunately, it wasn't really on my own terms because COVID happened. I was supposed to have a rematch with the opponent that I lost to for the world title belt. And then, like I said, COVID happened. Then opportunities to fight just stopped. And responsibilities to coach came in a bit more. And then with the national team, I was a bit more busy with the national team. So I just forgot I let go of my own ambitions, my own goals, and then just decided to go into coaching.
Yeah, so that part where you let go, right, from being dead and COVID spent from 2 to 5 years, that moment where you turned and said, nah, I'm going to retire, and you started setting. COVID was that period where you were thinking about how long does this last? Obviously you are coming back from wanting to fight him again, but when did that die? And how long did you grieve? Like how long did you just let that?
COVID was a scary time. We were always unsure about what's going on, what's the next step, whether there was CB events coming on. I didn't put too much thought about it, to be honest, because I never identified myself as just a fighter. So it was quite easy for me to let go. Or maybe I was very good in distracting myself to not think about it. Maybe that's it. But I was naturally just too busy with coaching to even think about myself already. Like when you're fighting, you can be very selfish because everything is just about you and you yourself, me, myself, and I. But when you are coaching, you have to think about your fighters. It's really not about your schedule anymore. You have to work around your fighters, and when you have a group of fighters, it takes a lot of your time. And then when I have the national team boxers to focus on with the SEA Games, with the qualifiers for the Olympics, so that really took a lot of my time. Then with my previous pro boxers and my current pro boxers, so I was more invested in that than myself. So that's basically, I think it didn't, the dream didn't die. I just stopped thinking about it.
Does it ever come back sometimes that you didn't bury? What do you tell yourself to like?
To be honest, not really. I quite enjoy the I quite enjoy the retirement phase. I wasn't itching to come back. I was happy with not fighting because I feel like I've done what I could with the opportunities that I have. I've experienced the highs and the lows of boxing at both amateur and pro boxing. So I felt like I was very, very lucky. And then I just one day decided to start fighting again. The funny thing is, on the day that I posted that I'm gonna fight, right? The same morning, I haven't made the decision to come back to fighting. I remember I was leaving the gym, I was walking to the car, and then I bumped across a delivery Grab driver or food delivery lah. Then he saw me. I don't know him lah. And he was like, "Hey, Ridhwan lah, the chosen one." He was asking me, "How are you? Are you still fighting?" What? No lah, I retired already so long ago. More than 7 years ago, I think. That's what I told him. Retired already, not fighting. Too lazy to fight. But then I remember like a few hours later in the evening, I just posted, "I know what, I'm gonna fight again." So he just came suddenly.
So it was always there, man.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It was always there. I didn't want to entertain it, and then maybe because I felt like I have my kids now and have the gym, I have fighters relying on me to be there for them, and I didn't stop for a moment to think that this is what I still want to do.
So do you feel good doing something for yourself now that you buried that self for 7 years and then you seem happier?
Is it?
Like, you seem happier that you are training and I mean online you are posting more things and you're generally happier.
I think so. I mean, to be fair, it gave me a bit more of a purpose. Like, I mean, since I retired I can't remember, is it 2019? Yeah, 2019. I've never trained at all. People always ask, do you train at all or like for fun? Or I say I've never trained at all ever. I did like 2 sparring exhibition matches. Yes, there are videos of me hitting the bags, right? But that's just for show. I've never trained for them either. So I would just record me punching the bag for like 30 seconds or 1 minute. Pretend I've been training for the sparring event, but I've never trained at all. Yeah, so this is the first time like I'm training again lah. Like I'm suffering, but I am suffering quite happily, to be honest. So it feels good to be doing this again, I guess.
2019 I also started the group and I pulled back and then from the top producer, the front and everything, I had to scale back also. Something inside also had to bury. You know, sometimes when I look at you and I see the things you do, I get thinking whether you are thinking the same things. Like, is there guilt that you now even come back to fighting and then sometimes you need to neglect some of the coaching things because that became your new identity. And now wanting to go back to fight, it excites you, but inside you also feel like, fuck.
I think both are very, very demanding. Right now, I think I'm the kind of person who likes to do things. The more challenging it is, the more like I want to do it. One of the reasons like I want to do boxing is because it is difficult. That's why I want to do it. And to do both coaching and fighting, I guess there is another level of commitment. But I've got great students. They understand, and so far I have not cut down on any training or whatever for them. I'm still gonna be training them as per normal, and I will still be balancing my life outside of boxing as per normal, and also training. Like for me, I am okay with being tired. Like I'm so used to being tired, which is not very healthy sometimes, but I am used to that, and I think maybe I function best like that under pressure. So yeah, there's no guilt for now, at least.
So for all these years you're pushing at things and you keep going at things, right? You know that pressure. Something I understand, but sometimes when there's no pressure and there's nothing, how do you react? You know, sometimes when there's nothing and you allow yourself to rest, there is a level of anxiety that you feel, right? Do you ever sit in it and wonder why you're covering it?
No, I think like now that you mention it, I mean, if I'm honest with you, if I'm honest with myself, I think I am always maybe trying to not face that side of life. Like I am not used to being on my own. Like I mean, of course, I have a lot of people around me that genuinely. It's not fair for me to say that I'm alone. I have a lot of people around me. They want to be around me. They want to help. They want to care. They want to show interest. But but then also at the same time, like, I don't open up to them that much, and but at the same time I'm also not facing myself. So I always find things to distract myself so that I don't think of the things that I really really want to do, and I always give reasons or excuses like, oh, my kids got this, my kids got that, or my boxers got this, I have to do this, have to do that, the business needs me to do this. So it has been very convenient lah. Until lately, I think I faced a personal problem which I take accountability, and it's my fault. Then I realized, you know what, I've started to lose myself totally. Like, I forget who I am. I forget to be the Ridhwan that I am meant to be. Like, I stopped being dangerous. Like, I just became like a. I'm not saying everybody else is boring, but I start to feel like I am just like everybody else. And then I remember that boxing is the one thing that keeps me grounded. It gives me. It's not. I'm not boxing. Boxing is not about me, but it gives me an identity in a way. And yeah, so boxing taught me a lot of things. It teaches me accountability. It teaches me commitment, discipline, and that's when I guess I decided to take charge and take control of my life again. Stop making excuses and decide to fight again. To remind myself, like, you know, who Ridhwan truly is.
Having that and understanding that, where's the danger in that you feel as you get older? You know, there's a danger of to a point where we mask and then we just cover up a new thing, a new project, and you know, you run so far away from the identity. But because we are blessed with a business and identity, there will be a point where you have to face that. You know, where do you see the danger in that?
Do you think what, in facing it?
Yeah.
I think, well, I cannot speak for the point of view of a woman, but for a man, I feel like you need to lah. Yeah, sometimes you have to stop running. You have to stop. You stop running, look back and face whatever that is chasing after you, or your demons or whatever. You have to face it, because if you don't face it, then because that's actually an opportunity for growth. But it's always comfortable to hide, to run, and these opportunities would actually make you. It's scary because it makes you face yourself. Makes you feel very, very vulnerable, makes you feel alone, makes you feel lonely. But you have to go through it. I mean, if you want to be a better person, better man, I guess you have to face them. Because I think men are builders. Men are builders. We have to do something. If not, you are just following. I mean, if you don't have to be a CEO or supervisor or whatever, but at some point you are the leader of your own family. You are the leader of your hobby group or whatever, chess club or I don't know, whatever. So at some point you need to take charge of something lah. And to take charge of something, you need to take charge of yourself, and you need to know yourself. I feel that's what a man should do.
So pulling that part out to fight is also the Grab driver remembering you more than you remember yourself, spark that thought. Fuck it, you know.
Yeah, I guess so in a way. I don't know what I did in my previous fighting years, but I guess I have managed to reach a lot of people, even outside of boxing, even security guards, taxi drivers, random uncle, auntie, Chinese, Malay. Some of them like still remember me, and it's quite nice. It's not like I enjoy being famous, but it feels nice for people to remember you for whatever that you did before. When people talk to me, hey, I told my friend that I'm 3 legends and they know you, or my auntie know you, my uncle know you, it's like, wow, not bad lah. So I guess it's nice. It's nice to be acknowledged and recognized in that way.
Yeah, you definitely deserve that. The second part, seeing greatness in yourself and people, right? The next segment is who you got right and who you got wrong. Sometimes where your coaching years, when you retire, you start shifting into training. Name some of the fighters you felt you developed successfully, and tell me someone you thought was going to be very good, but then not.
I guess one of the fighters that I guess trained and did very well is, I have to say, is Danisha lah. She has been with me since 2014. I cannot take credit for everything that she has achieved because, to be honest, when she started, I remember she walked up to the Legends gym. She was like she was in poly, I think. She came with a skateboard or whatever, what the small board is lah. Longboard is it? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what it is. So she was just, I think, boxing for fun, for confidence or whatever. She didn't even come on her own. She came with her cousin or something. And I never thought that she would be the Danisha that she is now. I never thought she'd be competing. I remember she told a previous coach that she said she's scared of fighting and she's very intimidated with some of the women in the gym. But then I guess over the years she showed commitment. She showed like she really wanted it. Even years ago, she was hiding the trophies and medals from the family, so she couldn't. Even she won the medals, right? She cannot bring them home because they don't want. She doesn't want the family to see them. So I guess, well, this girl not bad lah. I mean, there's something about her. So then from then on, then we start to pay a bit more attention to her, and she started to show the results. So I would say that she's one of the girls that was with me since 2014. When I wasn't even an accomplished coach. I was still learning, still making a lot of mistakes, still try and error. For some reason, she's still around with me, with Legends in a way. So I guess I'm also very thankful for her to trust the process lah. Because when the younger boys see her now, the Danisha now, they don't understand lah. How come she can be this good? But they forget that she was boxing since she was 2014. That's what people don't see. So I mean, research has always shown that it takes about 10 years for you to be good at something, right? And she took 10 years from casually boxing to suddenly sparring to suddenly joining random tournaments to suddenly representing Singapore. So it wasn't like an overnight success. It takes a lot of failures and all of that.
You said 10 years, right? Yeah, the research 10 years to be good at something. Who were some fighters that you thought was going to be good, but end up they were not? Not because they failed, but because you were wrong about them. Like you saw something, but actually it was wrong. And what did that teach you as a coach?
To be fair, I was never wrong about anybody. I always have a gut feeling like whether this person is gonna be somebody in the boxing industry, and most of them, I've never got anybody wrong. Like I'm not a fortune teller or anything, but it's just like the patterns that I see, the habits in people that I see, and it's very common for me to be around youngsters or people who say, oh, I'm gonna be this champion, that champion, I'm gonna sacrifice this, commit to this. It's normal. There are so many talented in Singapore. There are so many talented boxers. So many. Some of them are much more talented than me, considering the duration that they've been training. But it's like I can see whether this guy is gonna make it or not. It's really not about skill. It's really about the resilience, the toughness, the mental toughness. Because everything is fun in the beginning when you learn the flashy combos, when it's sparring, when it's fighting. But then they forget that boxing is still a lonely sport, and it's not just about skill. It's about waking up in the morning to go run when nobody's gonna wake you up. The diet, your friends going out, they're meeting girls, they're going to the movies, then you have to sleep early. It's not for everybody. Boxing training is for everybody. Fighting is not.
So, were there any moments where you see this guy, he did it, and then eventually you second guess whether he can move further? How do you face it and how do you look at them after that?
I mean, not everybody wants to climb Mount Everest, right? Some of them want to climb smaller hills or smaller mountains, and that's fine. My job and my goal is like to introduce boxing into their lives, and if it helps them to get better in the boxing sense, or better as a person, to me it's a win. Not everybody wants to fight, which is fair. But if you come to tell me that you want to fight, you want to be this champion, that champion, then I feel like I deserve to demand a lot more from you. But usually these people fail. And maybe But also, I won't say it's their mistake, but it's okay for you to change your goals halfway, and maybe you realize this is not for you, or this is not what you want to do long term. Because how can I force someone to be in the ring and get hit in the face voluntarily, right? I think some people just don't understand how much it takes.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's not so easy. It's a difficult thing.
So when you see someone slip away from it, what's something that you want to say but didn't dare to say? Like one fighter that just go like, fuck you, man. I know there's one that, but you can't say anything because you know how he react. Or it's just his life. Now, how do you learn how to just close that door?
I think okay, this is a very, I don't know what's the word, but okay, people know me as being very straightforward and being very cool. Maybe because, okay, I mean, I wish as a coach, right? As a coach, I'm not a babysitter. I can motivate you, but if you want out, it's your choice. I'm not gonna like cheer you on and like, you know what, you can do this, you can do this. I wouldn't bother, because to me, it will never make a difference. I can motivate you to want to come back, but if you come back not on your terms, you're not gonna stay in the game for very long, because you have to want it. That's just the nature of the game. Of course, I have boxers who like, they were with me, they train, they didn't meet the standards, they lose or whatever. And you know what, I'm a busy person. I'm a busy coach. I'm training the Legends team, I'm training my clients for fitness, the national team, and they feel like I don't pay attention to them, and then they decide to move away and whatever. But again, I mean, if I'm being honest, like, where are they now still? I mean, you will say that this coach is better or they're better than me, which is, the word is always there. But then the truth is, you are not, your goals, the goal that you set for yourself and the work you put in are not equal.
Yeah.
So it's not, so it doesn't work with what I'm expecting from you.
So you think that people that do that, which I agree, finding a new coach, and applying the same level of work won't change much.
So far, for the past how many years that I've been coaching, the ones who left me, not say they are doing anything much better anyway. I mean, I don't wish the worst for them, but I mean, I do wish somebody's proving me wrong. But so far, no. They're either gone from the scene, or they're still trying to make it. They're still trying to make it. I mean, respect to them, but at the same time, it's just how boxing is, lah.
So how do you when you see them the fight scene in Singapore is growing, but still quite small. And when you see these fighters getting, how do you react when they at least for me, I remember a recent one, and then you came back into the scene. You had to take a step back, which was a different path. Lost and then came back and then you won. But how did you take that?
I would say I'm very emotional about these kind of things. Like, I don't look like it, but I'm very emotional about these kind of things. When I'm with a boxer, I'm very fully invested in it. So their wins are my wins, their losses are my losses also. And then they don't understand, like, I mean, when we go for overseas tournaments, right? Let's say we have 10 boxers, okay? Everybody's just worried about their own thing. So if they lose, they just lose one tournament. Like, when I have 10 boxers, maybe 5 gold medals, the rest lost. I'm happy for 5 people, but I'm also very, very sad for 5 people. And to be sad for 5 people is very, very difficult also. It takes a lot. Because I remember me and Coach Kai overseas, like the final day of the tournament, we just want to sit down. I remember we just sit down in the hotel, just look at each other on the bed like that. Just don't do anything. Just enjoy the peace and silence for a while. And we feel sad for the boxer, but people don't understand. But as we grow older, I guess we just learn to not take things personally, and it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of practice. Some coaches also will not understand. They will feel like, why I let a person go, or why this person leaves me. That. I mean, I'm not saying I am the best, but I know what I do. Of course, there are coaches that are better than me. Some boxers just naturally bond better with other coaches, which is fine. Like I said to my fight team, if one day you feel like Legends cannot offer you anything more, you want to go to someone else, go ahead. I'll be happy for you, but as a sign of respect, tell me lah. Yeah, because we have invested in you also. Like we want the best for you. I don't want to fight you, but I just cannot accept those who got no balls lah. Just leave, talk shit, then the thing spread, and the scene is very small. Community is very small, so it's very toxic lah. So like if before I'm battling whether I should stop this nonsense or just let it go, because I feel like I'm building something very very good for my boxers, for the scene. I'm contributing something to the Singapore boxing scene. If I don't stop this nonsense, it will spread. But then when I try to stop it, also it makes me seem like I'm guilty. So it's a tricky thing lah. But most times now I just let go lah. So eventually, if they are not meant to box anyway, in a few months or a few years they are gone anyway. So, and I'm still here since I don't know when.
If they come back, will you take them back? And what goes through your mind when you have to take them back?
Well, Pritif came back, so he decided to.
How was that?
I mean, Pritif, to be honest, he didn't leave me. I left it because I said like, you wanted to be world champion, whatever champion, but then you are not living up to it. You're not putting in the work that I expect you to. So I said, you know what? I don't hate you. I'll say hi to you outside, but it's time for you to do your own thing lah, for our own peace of mind. So that's what he did. He went to another coach. Then he lost against a difficult opponent, which is fine. It's not the coach's fault. It's not his fault. It's just a good opponent. But of course, there are some things that I thought it could be better. I was there. I was surprised when he got knocked out in the first round. So when he came back, I said, you know what? I need to think about it. So I set my rules. One of the things was less social media, less this, less that. Whatever I say, you have to follow. And he complied lah. So I said, okay, since you can do that, then I will train you properly. Then we start. So I mean, it's normal for. It's not like relationship, I guess. Boyfriend, girlfriend, coach and student. Sometimes you break up, then you come back. As long as there is respect, I think things can work. So I still had respect for him. He still had respect for me. That's why it could work. But now I am more towards not taking it back.
Why? Like what changed?
I feel people always say that people can change, but I am not a believer in that. I'm probably wrong a lot of times when it comes to this, but people always go back to whatever that they're comfortable with, or when they are under pressure. Basically when they're under pressure they will go back to their own habits. So it's difficult. Because when you are coaching somebody, there's a lot of you know their weakness, you know their dirty laundry. They are not the people you see on social media. Like for example, I might train a boxer, boxer A. Everybody on social media, wow, this guy damn good, so hardworking, so this, so that. But I don't see it. Why? Because behind the camera, I see the real person. I see how he or she cry in training. I see how he or she give up, how he or she become very vulnerable. But of course I cannot say that because that's my boxer, right? But that's also being human. You need to know the person, help them grow, help them get better. But sometimes I just don't understand why people are so fast, so they quickly look up to other people to be motivated when you can. It's not wrong to look at other people to be motivated, but at the same time you need to see yourself there. If not, you will always be second place to somebody.
What's one thing that you regret taking back?
What's one thing I regret taking back?
So let's say for Pritif, for that, was there a regret?
For Pritif, no, I didn't regret anything. I remember it was a very very challenging training time because we're gonna rematch the person who knocked him out, and the person was very very convinced that he's gonna beat Pritif again. No regrets. Just that after the fight, he told me, I got a feeling that this is gonna happen. After the fight, he said like he realized that this is not what he wants to do anymore, and he prefers to just be coaching. And then I'm like, okay lah. Okay, I mean like, it is what it is because when you first came to me, you said like you want to give your all, you want to try. I don't need you to be world champion. I need you to try. I think not many people are willing to try. Not many people are willing to sacrifice. But at the same time, I also understand he's got a business, so can't really blame the guy. But also because you told me a lot of things, I also feel like I can blame you. So so I mean like you're not wrong, not right. I'm not wrong, not right. It's just circumstance or things that have happened. I mean not his fault to realize, oh no, this is the I'm gonna get beaten up all the time like this, and you know tough fight, and you have to invest money to go overseas to train, and also you have your business. So I understand the struggle, but it's not like I said, I can be anal about it because I've done it. Like I had my boxing gym. I also had people who I trust to run the gym. I also lost a lot of clients because I had to go overseas, like in Philippines or where else that I went to train for 1 to 2 months. Left my family behind, left everything. I wasn't like partying. I wasn't doing anything of sort. And I still see him partying. Yeah, so this is it.
I can see where you're coming from. Third part, I think the most interesting part, right? Coaching women. Which part of you, from escalating, from a young man, a young boy, going up to winning international titles, what do you have to unlearn about winning as a man to coach women?
When it comes to winning, it's pretty much the same. But I guess the meaning to winning is different because I mean for men they are expected to excel in a male-dominated sport already. For women, especially in Singapore, the environment is a bit more unique because we don't have a lot of women before. I remember when we first started women's boxing, there was only like what 2 or 3, and Leona is like the auntie of Singapore women's boxing. For them, it's about building the pool first. So when it comes to winning, right, I mean to get more women boxers in Singapore, it's already to me it's a huge win with the Legacy Women's Boxing Championship, a 2 days tournament. Actually, I before I was the head coach for the national team, I was the head coach only for the women's team. And I'm happy with that, just training the women's. And then I guess they see that the women's that what me and Leona did was doing very well. Like we went overseas to train, to fight, and we won. Then we also had the Legacy tournament in Singapore like a few years ago, and it was a huge success. Then the national team A, the men's team A, something's not right. We have to do something before the women take over or something. I don't know. So they got me involved also. But one thing I learned about when training women and men is that, I mean, for men you can almost fight through everything lah. But for women, cannot. Especially like that time of the month, right? You push them, you suicide. You must take a step back. So that one is a lesson that I have learned a lot of times.
But it's challenging, like it's a new challenge.
It's challenging. I mean, they are emotional. I mean, you can't scold them as how I scold boys. You have to watch your language. I mean, they deserve to be. They want to be pushed, but at the same time, how to say? You need to be more of a. I need to be more soft with them. I need to be more Ridhwan with them. I cannot be like stone cold. Yeah, I have to be like be part of their rumors club sometimes. Yeah, pretend. Yeah, but they are very cool people. I mean, men are naturally more stronger. They want to punch harder all the time. Women are more towards the technique side, the beauty, the science of the sport. So I guess for the local Singapore women and also internationally, the difference is the style and the technique that the women bring to the sport.
More than the brute strength.
Yes, like if I were to tell a man that okay, you do this something better, they will just punch harder. Even like if I take somebody to teach them for first time boxing lesson, they will just try to punch harder. A woman will naturally not punch harder, they will just slow it down. Like for example, if I teach a hook to a person for the first time, okay, I say a hook, you throw like this. The man will naturally just swing one. The woman will just like this. So I guess it's a mentality lah.
Is that something the men need to learn?
Yeah, for sure. So they need to learn about slowing things down.
So everything you learn about winning as a fighter was based on your body, your reach, your reflex. What's one moment you realize, like one singular moment you realize when you're coaching women that doesn't apply to them?
So it's very tough. I always expect a lot from them. So when it comes to, I wouldn't say it's a boxing aspect, but I would say maybe outside of boxing, the life aspect. Like a lot of our women boxers, right? They are doing very well outside of boxing. They are like schooling in university. They are doing well in work. They have like proper careers. So they need to balance that and also boxing. So I need to understand that they are juggling two or three, four, five, six things that are very, very important to them. So I need to also find a way to find that sweet spot, that balance to help them excel in both boxing and in life. Like for me, back then I was just like, it's okay for me to be broke. I have like $20 in the bank. I just go 7-Eleven, order the $1 mashed potato, just top up the the fare card. Last time, just go training, come back, don't need to worry about everything else. But when it comes to women, women like to care for other people also. So they care about their family. They want to provide. They are strong women. They are not just like sitting down hoping everything is given to them. They are going out there and earning money, saving the funds to do tournaments and all that. So I need to understand it also.
What do you have to unlearn about aggression, about preparation for female fighters, about mental toughness? I mean, at work, for me as well, I see the difference between the guy and girl. You know, a lot of times, like, the men are naturally more aggressive. They get through problems, like, just do it, you know. The way men prepare for it as well, and women are totally different. Where did you have to unlearn about teaching them aggression versus who they are?
I mean, generally, men think through logic most of the times, and women are through emotions. And I will never ever understand why they do certain things sometimes. And I stop wondering or trying to figure out. So what I do now is I just observe them, because my point of view can be quite limited, I guess, because all I did in my whole life is just boxing as a man. So for a woman, when it comes to aggression, they are not less aggressive. They are aggressive also, but I guess they are smarter in how they apply aggression when it comes to fighting. And it's not just brute force, it's about doing things surgically, being technically brilliant. And when it comes to men, it's like just go, just go, just go. For women, okay, you go, you pull back a bit, then you push to the side, you go forward, you pull back a bit. So it's not very, very straightforward. And I also need to consider their feelings, their emotions, when training, when fighting. I mean, men also, but with women you have to be a bit more like aware and sensitive about their headspace and their emotions or whatever.
Is there a specific female fighter that you train, that you know now you're training yourself? The way you apply your own training to yourself, you will break her. That's what's one thing you know, that if you train her how you train yourself, she'll just do.
Wow, Amanda. Amanda is tough, but there are also times where I remember I push her. This is not saying that she's weak, but sometimes I forget that she's a woman. Like I've pushed her to the point where she cried during training, and I'm like, what? So one thing I've learned is, if the woman want to cry, let them cry. Don't stop them. Let them. Then she comes back. And then she's better. She is very, very strong person. But if I were to push her like how I pushed myself last time, like if I'm like a dictator, I think the coaching student relationship will not work. When she came to me, she's really a boxer already. So it's not like she started with me. So she already has her own discipline, her own habits, her own, the thing that she's used to with her previous coach. So for me to get her to follow my way, there's a lot of negotiation, there's a lot of communication, and I cannot force her. And also she's 30 something, so she's got her own way of doing things. I cannot tell a 30 plus year old woman to force her to do something. But then, I mean, if I tell a 17-year-old, it's easier because it's the first time and they don't know anything. And for this one, she will research, she will question, she will say why like this, why like that. Sometimes I can't be bothered. So it's like you have to find a way to get to her. Yeah. So it's really about communication. I think coaching mainly is about communication, whether man or woman, because there are boxers out there who are very very good, but when you see their coaches are like normal only. But I think they are just coaching is a skill where you have to be a influential leader. For some reason, your boxer is, I mean, sometimes they are just genuinely talented, but to win in like good tournaments or what, you still need some kind of skill. I've seen some coaches who are not good at all, but the way they talk to the boxer, like the boxer like brainwash, like as if going to war, like, and they end up doing very very good. It's that connection. Like sometimes it's more than just skill. It's the way you communicate to the boxer.
Have you ever feared, the way you train yourself? You know yourself best, training to become a world class title. You become a boxer at that level, right? You know yourself best. But how do you develop somebody that you have no idea what goes on in their head, or you can never know somebody the way you know yourself? How do you develop that part? You're having so many students and so many boxers out there.
Okay, honestly, this is a part where I feel like I wish I can do better, which is I'm still trying. I've never really, previously I preferred to train everybody to follow a system. But boxing is very personalized, like everybody thinks differently, everybody has different fears, different strengths, different weaknesses, and it's very difficult to, and considering Singapore, you cannot build everybody the same way. Like if I get somebody from Russia, I choose all the people who are already fighting like the Soviet style, so it's easier for me to coach. Like in Singapore, everybody from different gyms, everybody have different styles, and I try not to force them. That's one. So I try to tailor according to their style of fighting and all that. And communication is very important. Communication, talking, just reviewing fight videos, asking them. There's a lot of asking, what do you think? Sending them stupid memes sometimes to see how they react. So these are the kind of things that I will do, like to see what breaks them, what motivates them, what keeps them on the edge. If I show them their opponent, do they feel more motivated or do they feel threatened? So these are the kind of things I will do to also get to them mentally, emotionally. So it's not just about randomly just sharing things, it's also about trying to get a feedback out of them.
What I believe is you need to train the person first. The skill set comes after that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so that when you hardly get to know them or hardly interact, only at training, or you're trying to send things to see how they react and the signals they send, right? Is there ever a time that you are worried that the mindset you give yourself to get yourself to that level, you're scared to apply it to them because you might be wrong? It worked for you, but you know that this works, but you're afraid to apply it.
I think at the start, I've really told myself that nobody will be the same as me. They can be better, they might not be as good, but the goal is for them to get better. So it's really not about me anymore. It's always how I approach them is how do I get to them so that they can be better. Not better than me, but the best that they can be for themselves. So however way I communicate with them, however way I try to get to them is different. Like for some people can say like, why are you so strict with Pritif? Why are you so relaxed with Danisha? Why are you sometimes strict with Clayden but also sometimes very relaxed? So people don't understand. People think how I train Pritif is how I am as a person like that. But Pritif has a habit of, if I give him too much positive remarks or comments, it gets to his head. It's just him. Maybe he doesn't realize it, but not in a bad. I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it is just him. Danisha needs freedom, so she doesn't or don't really want people to always be watching her all the time. She needs that trust that she can be independent, but also at the same time she needs me to be there to ask like, how are you, all that. Yeah, so I need to find that balance also. So it's not that difficult. I don't try to give them a template to follow. It's not like a 10-year series kind of thing. So it's always like, okay, everybody is a different case. how do I get to her? How to get to this guy? How do I get the most out of him? Should I talk to him? When should I be hard? When should I be like when should I soften up, and when should I be firm? So everybody's different.
You're gonna reach a part where it is things that I guess nobody really asks you or don't dare to ask you. I'm gonna push on that. The ones that left you, what did that cost you? Emotionally, reputation. What did that cost you? When they left.
I mean, in terms of reputation, people will always jump on the bandwagon to say, see, this guy left Ridhwan also, this guy left Legends also, which is at the start I feel it affected me a lot because I feel I've always have their best interest at heart. But somehow the things get twisted to say that like maybe I'm not there enough, or like I'm selfish or whatever. And that affected me mentally, emotionally, because I feel like it's like a personal attack. But then I realised, you know what, if people are not talking about you, right, there's something wrong. Then I decide to embrace it. I mean, if you want to make me the bad person, helps you move on, then so be it. I will also use you as a marketing content. So you just laugh it off. Because at the end of the day, everybody's trying to get to a certain place. I mean, I would appreciate if there is no backbiting, if there's no like things are done in a respectful manner. But not everybody have the guts or the experience or the wisdom to do so. So which is fine. So I just have to learn the art of ignoring. Just let go, and let whatever people say. If that's their version of the truth, then let it be. If they want to find the truth, they can talk to me, they can talk to the person, then they just create their own opinion or perception of things.
So you don't have to name anybody, but you're definitely training so many people to reach a certain pinnacle. Like pro fighters, nationals, or you don't have to name anyone, but like there is a pattern. Like you train them to a certain point of success, and then they will leave. There is a pattern. So when that happens, it becomes like what you just described. Backbiting, stuff like whatever floats your boat, you die out and you go up. That pattern of getting them there, and then when they hit a certain plateau, usually, then it becomes, this is not helping me. He's not helping me. When did the first departure happen, and what did that teach you when you saw the pattern?
Usually it comes when maybe after a few losses, or they feel like, okay, the thing is people don't understand that it's easier for a coach to say, you see Ridhwan's boxers or the national team boxers are losing, then my boxers are winning. But you have to understand the tournaments that you're participating in are local, or like Johor tournaments, the ones only in Singapore. But my boxers are fighting boxers from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and these are very different levels, and people don't understand that. So when the losses start coming, then I start to see them not coming to the gym anymore, or they mix with certain groups of people. You can see them on Instagram stories or whatever. I tend to, or usually to try to get them back, but I realize sometimes you just have to let them be. I cannot force somebody to stick around me. Anyway, at the end of the day, right, my value is not based on whatever a boxer has accomplished. That is also one of the main reasons, right, why before the gym Instagram have never really posted anything about our boxers winning this or winning that, because our marketing is not about our boxers winning this tournament, representing Singapore in this tournament. Like, to be honest, I don't care. Of course, I want people to know that they are national athletes that started with Legends, of course. But that hasn't been our marketing strategy ever. It's not like, okay, Danisha trains from Legends, see where she is now, so you should also train with us to become like her. It's never been our marketing strategy.
Less of a promotion.
Yeah. And also, sometimes I'm a human. Sometimes I post about person A, then I forget to post about person B. Then person B feels jealous, and then person B thinks that I think of the person less, which has happened before. So to keep things simple, I don't post anything. But now it's a different generation. People want the validation. They feel appreciated. For some reason, if I text them personally, hey bro, good job, it worth less than when I post about them on Instagram or talk. Yeah. So now I just post everything. I try to lah. So I try not to miss anyone out. But yeah, people want to be validated, which is fine. And sometimes I can see that they fade away. If they want to go away, then they go lah. I mean, it's okay.
Was there somebody leaving that you saw coming? Right? I mean, you know the pattern, you see them coming. Which one did you see coming, and which one blindsided you?
All I see coming. All. The pattern is clear. They start to be very quiet in the text. Their face, I don't know how to say. Like when I'm there with them, they're just very blank. They're just very like there's no soul, there's no feeling, there's no emotion, and the conversation also becomes very dead, and there's no feedback. It's like talking to a wall. So far, the people who left, I know they're gonna leave anyway. It's just a matter of how. Whether they do it gracefully, whether if they don't know how to do it gracefully, they find something to blame, which is me most of the time, or blame circumstances, or they say they are busy, but then they disappear for a few months. After that, I see them somewhere else. It's quite normal lah. But now there's no heartbreak. I never tie my valuation and my value to what they think of me or what other coaches might think of me or whatever.
Was there one person leaving that you know it was you, like you caused it?
I'm sure there is. Not lately, I guess. Maybe when I first started coaching, there are times when I struggle with time, and I am not able to always give my 100% in coaching. And it is. I remember during that time, I thought, you know what? During this time, people who represented legends for competition some of them gonna leave. And I don't remember exactly who, but they left lah. But I also didn't blame them because they want something better for themselves, which is fair. I find it okay, and they were not like backbiting me anyway. So they told me first they're going to another gym to try, and they say they want somebody a bit more attentive. I say okay, fine. This is something you should go lah. Yeah, I wish you the best.
Do you resent any of them, even quietly?
No way. I don't. Never. Not even a bit. There are people don't understand how easy I am with them. Like there are a lot of people. I remember when I was going to take the national team head coach position, right? There were a lot of talks in the scene. They said that Ridhwan's going to be very biased. Ridhwan's going to be very, because I've argued and fought with him before online or in person that he's not going to choose me. But then I've showed countless times throughout the years that whatever personal thing I had with them, whether stupid, logical, not illogical, relevant, irrelevant, they are still chosen to represent the country if they deserve it. And even now, they are all talking to me. We are not friendly, not like, hey bro, what's up, no. But we are still, there's respect. Like, if you're good enough, I will send you. Because in Bedok, in national team training, I don't care what gym you come from. I don't care if you got no gym. I just want you to win. Not for yourself, not for me, but for the country. So I made it clear for them. That's why national team training, we say we don't wear any gym t-shirts or whatever. Over here, we are all one team.
Does it make it harder to, there will be a point where you have to remind yourself, let it go?
No, I think I'm pretty good in compartmentalizing things and putting away feelings, my true feelings, for certain people.
Inside you look, then you shut it out.
Yeah, inside I will feel it. I will feel like some form of like. Sometimes I wish there are other people than this boxer that's going. Not because I hate them, but because I feel like they're not giving the best and somebody else deserves it, but we just don't have that person yet. It's normal lah. I'm pretty sure every coach from every country or from whichever gym will feel the same way. But I feel what's important is I am trying to be as professional as possible, which is, to be honest, it's not that difficult. And the boxers do respect me. Of course, at first they will be very cold, be some tension, but afterward they see like I'm quite chill. Like They can talk to me anytime. They can message me their concerns or whatever, and I've never been biased. If you show up to training, you show up, I can show your attendance to the relevant authority. If you win, good lah, you will go.
So,
one of the final acts here, like what champions don't say, what the opposite of what you are asked publicly most of the time. Champions are asked certain things, certain way publicly to talk about discipline, sacrifice, grind, believe in yourself. But what's the opposite of it? Like the actual truth about things that you will never tell a kid in the interview, that you always wanted to say, that every serious fighter needs to hear, but publicly you cannot say.
I think one of the less popular things people will say is, people always say, right, winning is important. But what I would say is, build your identity over your achievements. So do not attach your identity with your achievements. Because if your identity is attached to your achievements, like how boxers, like, I want to be undefeated, that's how I'm about, like, I'm disciplined, I'm this, I'm that, I've never lost. But to me it's bullshit, because we all will face failures, we all will lose at some point of time. No, maybe not in the ring, but maybe outside. If you attach your identity to your achievements, when you fail, which we all will, you'll feel crippled, you will feel empty, you feel like you lose yourself. And that will make you forget why you want to start boxing in the first place, or whatever you choose to do in the first place. If you have the skill to see failure or losing as a feedback, you will be able to course correct. You will see the lesson in the failure, rather than just like, oh, why this is happening to me, I'm just a failure, I'm just a loser. And then you can learn to do things better.
How would you build an identity away from the achievements when people pick up boxing for whatever reason? They start getting good at it. People recognize they getting good at it instead of their initial interest in whatever they want to do. How do you build around it when that is all the attention and valuation?
Yeah, this is a very, very common problem now in even the youngsters are facing. But for me, I'm very lucky because I will always say, always have somebody or a very close group of friends who's not scared of losing you, who's not scared to tell you to the face that, hey, you're bullshit, or you are getting ahead of yourself, or you're getting big-headed. We all need somebody in our life to tell you to chill, relax, and look at things in a different perspective. Because it's easy to be very caught up in your own hype, which is very common now with Instagram Reels. Sometimes I see people losing their match also got the Instagram Reels. I don't understand. So it's very common. So you need a coach not to just hype you up. And I have lost people because of this. I have lost students because I told them what they needed to hear. I refuse to be just their hype man. But I don't care. Because I feel like if you don't get through this, you will never ever be.
It will come along the way.
Yes, it will come along the way. Maybe not with me, you will face it with another coach. And then you want to blame that coach also, you cannot. Because you have to face it yourself. So it's very important to have, it could be a parent, it could be a best friend, it could be a girlfriend, it could be a wife, somebody who's willing to tell you, you know what, you need to chill. And don't get ahead of yourself.
To understand your coaching style, right, your leadership style, when somebody hits a very tough position and you won, what do you tell them? From what I observed, you disappear.
Oh yeah,
you good. And you're like, the ego, the guy won and then you're just not there. My thought was that let him enjoy the limelight and stuff. Like, you don't want to make it about you because maybe they like shadow the topics will be about you. But there's definitely something that you intend to do, or like what you in those like quiet whispers of a prize fighter or champion that you develop. Like, what will you tell them after that big win?
I will always the reason I disappear is because I want to go back home. That's one, because I got work the next day, And also, you're right. I don't want to make it to be about me. Like for me, like I always admire coaches who are very, very, very relaxed and quiet. Like Lomachenko's father, for example. Like everybody's talking about Bivol, but who is Bivol's coach? For example, like nobody really, really knows. Or Alexander Usyk, who is the coach? Is like really some unknown uncle from Ukraine. So I want to be that kind of guy. I don't want it to be about me. I want him to experience it with his friends or his fans or his family. To me, it's a job that I've done, and I'm happy that he won. And I would usually say, you know what, of course, I will give them their props. I will say, you did great today. I'm proud of you. I think it's very important for me to say that I'm proud of them. It's not like I'm faking it. I really am proud of them. No matter what the results. And of course, I will always finish it with, there's work to do, but enjoy your win for today, for tonight. We will discuss again when the time is right. Yeah.
So I told you earlier that I will push on something. Is being coach actually enough for you? Or part of you still wants to be that fighter?
I mean, the thing is, I'm fighting again. So people say it's a comeback. I don't know. Maybe I've never really left. That's why. Will there be another fight after 26th of September? To be honest, I don't know. This could be the last one. I just want to finish it on my own terms. Or maybe after this I realize, you know what, it's not that bad. I want to do one more. Or maybe I realize, you know what, I really don't want to fight anymore. So we'll see. In terms of coaching, I love coaching. I love the pressure, the responsibility, taking care of the people that rely on me for knowledge, for training. And I feel it's a job that I think I can do for a long time. I think I'm pretty good at it with the experience that I get locally, overseas. And coaching also helps me teaches me to be a good leader, to be a good person, to get my priorities right. And it gives me a way to still be involved in the sport without getting punched in the face.
So what's the version under what you just said? When you're watching all your fighters in the ring, they land a good shot. What's happening in you? Are you coaching or are you fighting it?
Coaching, I think at that point of time when it happens, I would say that yes, this is something that we've done in the gym. For it to be done in the ring, it has to be in the gym. Then it's like a pat on my back. See, we've done it before. See, it's working. So while I'm also enjoying the show, I'm also like acknowledging, okay, this is what we've done in training. It's working, and we should keep doing it. It's like validating my own coaching principles and whatever I believe in, my coaching philosophies, and my approach to training.
What's that coaching philosophy that you have that you tell all your boxers?
I don't know. I think in general, I would say if when it comes to competition, I would say you have to want it more than me lah. I'm just the coach. For you to win, you have to want to win more than me, because you are just a boxer. At the end of the day, you can be better than this person, but if you leave, I can train this other person to be maybe as good or maybe better as you. So when it comes to winning, everybody wants to win, but how bad do you want to win? That's the thing. That's the thing that I think in general Singapore boxers do not have. Maybe I would say it's the culture. We are very soft.
What must change from your time when you were world champion and now? What has changed?
I would say social media. It's so easy to get validation now. Like during my time, for me to get a good job from my coach is so hard. Sometimes right, I'm not working to get that goal. I'm not trying to train and win that medal or that title or that belt. It's more for my coach to just say, you know what, good job. I really wanted that, but he's old. He's got no social media or whatever. You are.
He loves it.
Yeah. So it's like so I'm always trying to. I always want my coach to be proud of me. I think that's one thing that I look forward to. But now the boxers are different. They want validation
That
quickly.
version of you that you wanted validation from your coach, that your coach should tell you I'm proud of you. Where did that come from? Versus where do you think the new boxers are trying to take them from?
During my time, it comes from my coach. If he says to me face to face, or from my teammates who I suffered with. Right now, the boxers they don't need it from me. Sometimes they just needed to post it on social media, see me like it, share it, I guess that's pretty good enough. So it's quite instant. It's quite fast. If I don't share it, it becomes weird. If I share it, it becomes, I don't know. So it's not just about, people think it's just about sharing and supporting, but it's actually more than that. And then people don't understand, like some boxers really change after I shared about them. Yeah, like the way they act, the way they talk to me. They stop calling me coach already. So it's like it's important to have that relationship, but at the same time you need to have that respect, because if there's no respect, there's no way the boxer is gonna listen to you, especially when things are heated in the ring, when somebody get knocked out, when you're on the verge of losing, on the verge of winning. Respect has to be there lah.
What's one call you made, even as a fighter or as a coach, that you never told anyone publicly?
Wow, I can't think of one now. So far none eh. Yeah, so far none.
What must happen in all the boxing gyms in Singapore, you think, to bring back another world-class champion at that tier? Social media is here, it will stay,
Yep.
people are feeding off it, now getting tired of it. What must change in all boxing gyms so that Singapore has a good boxing culture?
I feel like we need to fight, but we need to fight in the ring, not over stupid things, not about whether this person is following the rules or not, whether this is trying to bend the rules. We need to focus on the boxes, on winning. We need to be competitive still. We can trash talk. We can you can say your gym is better. I can say my gym is better. We need that tough environment to really grow. No matter how competitive we get, the respect has to be there. It's not about you are better, I'm better. Yes, we can say that in our own gyms. We can even say it on social media, but you need to put in the work. And I think we are on the way there. Of course, we have a few bad apples here and there, but nothing too influential, to be honest. As long as all the gyms are the focus on developing the youngsters, the boxers who can really take Singapore boxing to another level, I think as long as our intentions are clear, we can achieve a lot of great things together.
Okay, thank you, coach.
No problem.